People
Hi,
like Scott.
everybody, and welcome.
Hello.
Hello. I love our technology, and we will welcome our guests in just one moment. But I
Okay.
wanted to thank those Allianz Life employees here joining me in the auditorium and those live streaming across the U.S. For helping us kick off our celebration of American or Asian American and Pacific Islander AAPI Heritage Month here at Allianz. It's an important time to recognize the contributions and influence of AAPI Americans to our U.S. history, our culture, and our achievements. Throughout the month, our employee resource group, Ascent, is hosting events around the theme of creating connections, including a discussion on what it means to be racially literate, a session with Diva Maya, founder of the South Asian Arts and Theater House, which will include a Bollywood dance lesson. Jason Wellman, are you ready for that one? Fantastic. We'll also have virtual bingo with fabulous prizes featuring our Asian American businesses here in the Twin Cities, and a dedication of a new free little library outside of Bright Beginnings featuring Asian authors, illustrators, and characters. We are so excited to kick off the month with this session today featuring our important Allianz partners, Transglobal, Transpacific Financial. As the largest Asian general agency in the US, Transpacific has a unique perspective on working with our Asian American financial professionals and clients. Thank you to Ascent and our partners in the Edge Inclusion Group for arranging this important session. To hear more about our strong partnership with Transpacific, let's hear from Scott Kellen.
Thank you, Gretchen, and good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Scott Kellen, and I've had the pleasure of working with Transpacific Financial for over 10 years. And Transpacific is an important partner with Allianz Life Insurance Company of North America. In 2022, they paid for over $13.5 million in life business as our #2 life shop and over $104 million in fixed index annuities. They are on pace to do that again on the life side and on pace to double that production on the annuity side. So that is tremendous. And we are joined today by Philip Hu, founder, president, and chief executive officer at Transpacific and at Transglobal Holding, LLC. Philip also fulfills an important role as a member of our Life Field Advisory Board. And so honored in January of 2023, Philip and Transpacific were the first ever recipient of the Bill Zimmerman Training Award, recognizing organizations who are best in class in training their advisors. And as a true show of the partnership that we have, Philip, I was just saying earlier, so grateful that you took my call at 11 o'clock last Friday night after our dinner and got out of bed and went to the office and retrieved my backpack for my early flight on Saturday morning. So thank you again for doing that. And we are also joined by Richard Lee from Transpacific, who holds the position of Director of Fixed Annuities and Fixed Index Annuities and works closely with our FMO sales teams. Please help me in welcoming Philip and Richard, and to do so, I will turn it over now to Brandon Casper.
All right, thank you, Scott. So now the fun begins. So Philip and Richard, thank you very much for joining us. And Scott, I'd be remiss if I didn't already mention, you said that they were trending to double that production from 2022 to 2023. They've already done that, and we just rolled through May. So they've submitted through the ABC promotion over $208 million of FIA premium. So thank you both very much for that. So I get the pleasure of being live in California at Transglobal's headquarters with Philip and Richard. So I get to, I guess, host the Q&A for the rest of us back home. So without further ado, Philip, I'm going to start with you. Can you please share some background information about your agency for all those that are in attendance who may not be familiar with Transglobal? So how many different offices do you have? How many agents do you have, and so forth?
Currently, we mainly do 6 pillars to serve our client. We have a real estate operation, we have residential mortgage, we have investment, but including broker-dealer, RIA side. We have all different type of insurance, including life, group health, commercial and Medicare. We also have a tax service, including tax filing and also payroll and tax planning. And we recently just added another education. We also have our own TPA. We do retirement plan. We do retirement TPA. Now, currently, we have close to 200 full-time employees. And also we have 30 different offices across the country. And we work with 4,000 or 5,000 different agents.
That's massive numbers. So again, 30 different agencies across the country and growing. I imagine you want to keep on adding agencies.
Exactly. Offices, not all offices.
Yep.
Yes. We plan to build maybe at least 3 to 5 offices in the next 5 years.
That's incredible. So one of the things that Philip and I were talking about earlier, just the demographic of your agents as well. So we were out here at their Chinese kickoff just last week, and you look across the crowd, and Philip, I don't want to steal your thunder, so I'll let you share, but can you share with us just the breakdown, male to female, and then age of your agents that are contracted with you?
Yeah, unlike a traditional American agency, you have a 60 plus white hair, white guys. In the Asian market, especially in our agency, 50% or more of my agents are female. We believe ladies are much better sales than guys. And also only about 15-20% of my agents are older than age 60. So in the next 10 years, we don't have to worry about we run out the aging retiring issue. So to us, we have a cross board from maybe 30 to 70, but majority of them still in the between 40 to 60. Okay, that's our key. And most important things, some of my agency have a 50+% are female. Some of my agency even have 70% female agent. So that's a little different.
Yeah, I would say that's definitely not the norm that we're used to walking into offices and seeing. So last question, and then I'll turn it over to Richard for just a quick question here too. When did you start Transglobal? And then of those 6 pillars that you mentioned, what was the first pillar that you started with?
I started with in life insurance 30 years ago, and we become FMO starting from 2002. The first life contract we got from Transamerica. We used to be mainly a life wholesaler, general agency, until about for the last 3-4 years, we decided we want to push our annuity. That's how I started push more annuity. I think we'd be able to jump my annuity production within the last 3-4 years from 30-40 million to 300 to 400 million in about 3-4 years.
Absolutely incredible. And we're going to ask how you got there in just a second. But Richard, if you can, what differentiates Transamerica, or not Transamerica, I'm sorry, Transpacific agency from all other agencies that you work with?
So Transpacific, right now we are going for Transglobal. We'll become a one-stop shop instead of just general agency. So people coming here, they can do a lot of their need. They come into one place, they can do everything. They can do their tax, they can do their investments, their real estate, their loan problems, everything. PNC, health, education even.
Yeah.
And annuity is just a little piece of iceberg of them.
Well, the way we try to do is the client coming into our office, we can take care of their majority, their financial need. So they don't have to go to different office looking for different agent, get all the different answers all the time. We can have one, just like if you go to banking industry right now, you go to bank, major bank, people take care of new account, people take care of residential loan, commercial loan, life insurance, investment, all, but it's under one roof, but with a different people to take care of you. We're doing the same way. We try to build a financial platform. So with all the different specialists in-house, and represent a lot of different vendors. So when clients come to one location or go to one place, they can get all their needs done. So especially they can get the same answer, focus on the client's need instead of what the only thing they can sell.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of different opportunities for you to interact with that same client involving multiple pieces of your business. That's fantastic. So this is one of my favorite questions to ask guests. So I always get a kick out of how people got into the business or how they got started. Because I imagine none of us growing up, dreamt that we were going to be working in insurance when we were older. Like when
Of course not.
when I was a younger Brandon, I dreamt of being a professional baseball player. And my batting average in 7th and 8th grade combined was 0. I didn't have a single hit. I couldn't hit the baseball. So it was back to the drawing board. And it wasn't until I got to college that I was introduced to Allianz, and I really enjoyed working in financial services. So I'm sure there's a similar background story. Can you tell us how you got into the business to begin with? So Philip, I'm going to start with you.
When I was little kids, I want to be a professional basketball player, and I realized later I didn't have the height and the talent.
It's important.
And later, when I'm in college, my major was engineering. My grad school was computer science, and came here in 1983. Moved to LA since '84. Was working for a corporation, was doing fine, and because of corporation politics, so I decided to step down. I resigned from the job and went to China to did some investment. Got terrible results. When I came back, I say, what should I do? And luckily, before I was a part-time insurance agent for a little while, so starting from 1994, 95. Since I came back from China, I needed time to change my career. Then I decided I want to be an overtime life insurance agent. That's how I started. Starting life as a life agent and lead a small team, lead a good team until 2000 came, dot-com bubbles, and decided to become a FMO myself from the life side.
Yeah.
That's how I started. 2008, when the financial crisis came, I was #1 AIG multicultural agency. Then I decided I need to spread out. And also when the water get lower in certain locations like LA, I only have one location in Southern California. For 2008, that time I learned the lesson. I said, if the water getting lower, so I just need to go out dig more pounds. So starting from 2010 till today, we built from the second office to 30th office. Wow. Between 2010. And again, then 2015 to 2019, we were doing wonderful on foreign national market, and suddenly border closed. So we wanted to have a different revenue sources. That's how we heavily introduce our all-in-one services, and plus annuity, plus all other services. For the last 3 years, I think we did a pretty good job in the branding side and also all-in-one services.
That's wonderful. So yeah, you're diversifying your revenue streams coming in for Transglobal as a whole.
Exactly. That's the whole idea. You can't only count on one revenue source. So you have you have a different way to approach client. Most important thing, no matter how you approach your client, it's become a big data. I think in the future, big data will definitely help.
That's fantastic. Well, now, Richard, so when I accepted my position into my new role, you were the first client that I called to talk with, and you've been incredibly helpful ever since. And you shared with me your background story, which I find just fascinating, because you haven't been in the insurance industry all too long. But can you please share with us your background story?
So everybody share when they're little, what do they want to do? I want to be a professional singer. But I am not tall enough. I'm not handsome enough. I'm not in the shape. So I changed my mind. I went to college and graduate school for computer science. It's nothing to do with insurance at all. And I'm the first immigrant here in the United States. So I need to apply for my green card. Whenever anyone try to apply for the green card, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are going to get underpaid.
Mm-hmm.
Are going to end underpaid. Mm-hmm. So I got underpaid, and I have a lot of very difficulty financial crisis. Let's say this. I got paid per month only $1,560.
Wow.
And my rent is $1,200. And that's how I survive. I have a lot of credit card debt. My credit score was under 400 before, under 400. And then I changed. I went to church and know some friend. They taught me how to face giant, how to face difficulty,
Yeah.
how to face my financial situation, how to pay for the debt. And now my credit score is, I just checked this morning, it's 846 out of 850.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That means you don't owe too much money.
Well, no, I find that absolutely fascinating on, just again, all the different jobs that you had before coming to Transglobal, just the struggle to get a green card, to be able to work here. And then, finding, substantial pay. Cause I mean, it's not inexpensive to live in California. It's relatively expensive to live out here. But one of the other things that I absolutely loved is walking by your desk. I saw, your coffee mug had a certain car symbol on it. And then you had a couple of different model cars sitting on your desk too. So can you tell us a little bit about what you're driving around now, Richard?
Should I say that? Yes, I'm driving a Porsche.
Which that's got to be your dream car, I imagine.
Yeah.
So, I mean, absolutely incredible story to where you are now.
Yeah, I find it's very incredible because of Transglobal has this very, very good training system. Can you imagine that when I'm only here for about 4 years? This is my 4th year. Before I came here, I don't even have a license. I don't know nothing about annuities.
Yeah.
And because of Philip. So the
Rich
education.
is studying pretty hard and trying to put things together too.
Yeah. Well, what I find amazing is I haven't met, two individuals with the other carriers that I work with that involved so much with their advisors, as well as, I mean, Richard, every single annuity contract that I've ever seen. Like, how to explain it better than I can back to me, which is just fantastic. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay. So how are the needs of the Asian client different from other types of clients?
Well, like I said, when I first started in the life insurance industry, well, we found out one thing: Asian men don't believe they will die. So if you want to sell death benefit, like typical American market, you're going to be starved to death.
Sure.
So that's why we learn how to sell like cash build up, tax-free income, living benefit. People don't have to die to win. And later, when we come to annuity, we start to realize a major difference between Asian and also American market is Asian people like high bonus. And also, we're easy to talk to them with the income. So whenever you have a high bonus with a really good income, that's how we can sell. Asian people, not necessarily, unless it's older age or banking channel. Otherwise, the accumulation sale is not as much. So every time you see you have a nice promotion about high bonus, like ABC, high bonus plus good income product, we can sell.
Yep.
But when you don't have that type of promotion, our sales slow down a little bit, because to the Asian market, the tax-free income, living benefit, and especially high bonus and also income-driven product, that's how people like that better.
Yeah. So to put that into perspective, in 2021, Transpacific wrote a total of $140 million of FIA premium with Allianz. Of that 140, 104 million was submitted during the ABC promo. This last year, $208 million submitted throughout the promotion, which is just absolutely incredible. So yeah, we are definitely taking note of that. ET, if you're in the audience, please take note of that as well. Richard, if same question to you. So how are the needs of Asian clients market different from other types of clients?
I think what we really want is some kind of guarantee. So lifetime income guarantee is something that people want to hear. People want to hear something they can have. They can have lifetime income, guarantee increasing, that kind of thing is what we really want. And we also simplify everything to make it much easier to understand, from making this very, very long article product description to something very easy. Take example of that special death benefit for Allianz.
Yeah.
create that with the boxing illustration to make people understand. When people understand it, they can just go out there and do sales.
Yeah, you're making very, very complex products incredibly simple for your advisors to be able to digest as well. So that boxing analogy that Richard's talking about is the death benefit limits that we have on ABC and 222 in certain states. And I've never seen an analogy that quite demonstrates it as good as that. So again, that's something that I stole from you and share with my other clients.
Thank you.
So Philip, this question is just for you. So how do you think you provide value to the Asian American community?
Well, I think number one, we understand the market. We even in the Asian market, people are different. Okay, Chinese people have a better saving habit. Korean people, they like pay things monthly. Vietnamese market, they need a little more education. They have a great potential. So even within Asian market are different. What our advantage is, we have a chance, because our size, we have a good resource. We have mainstream resource, but we can deal with the Asian market. We can use a language they understand. We can use the way we explain things fitting their culture. I think that's the advantage we can bring, and we are the best bridge between the Asian client and the mainstream market.
Absolutely. And then can you also speak to, I mean, Scott and I were both here last week, your kickoff events that you do. It is 3 very jam-packed days of you speaking in front of your entire audience for what is it, 10, 12 hours a day you're speaking?
We're in the 3 days, Friday, Thursday and Friday is 8:30 to 7:30 at night, 11 hours. Out of 11 hours, either I have to teach or I have to host.
Yeah.
So yes, I did spend a lot of time.
You spend a ton of time in front of your agent.
We have a Chinese and English kickoff meeting every year, and second half of the year we have a regional kickoff meeting. Normally, this time our Chinese kickoff meeting we have almost 400 agents attend all 3 days. 250 agents from out of towner, and local we have also 100 plus agent as well. Because we host it in our home office. Mainly we accommodate close to 300 people here, and we open up the other 2 offices, watch the broadcast. So this is the most important event. We talk a lot of things. We teach a lot of things. That's why we get very good feedback.
Absolutely.
Next year, we're going to probably host in Vegas next year.
Oh, at the new office. Absolutely.
Or the hotel, and along with my new office there.
Okay, fantastic. Richard, this question is for you. How does Allianz Life partner with your agency?
So Allianz Life has been very helpful. And I'm very happy that Allianz Life is creating the Chinese brochure. However, I think we need to be careful too, because we need to have traditional and simplify altogether for different audience.
Absolutely. So you two were instrumental in us getting Chinese material published. And that was one of the first things that you came back to us once we got that approved, was the differences between traditional and simplified. So we really appreciate that feedback.
Yes, because people 60 years ago, China made all the language simplified. But anybody live outside of China, like Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore, and people in US, they use a traditional one. So that's why when you want to have any Chinese brochure come out, the better have it both, because that's a language they're familiar with.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, only a couple more questions here. Then we're going to turn it over to Q&A, which I believe there is a microphone that'll be circulating in the auditorium. And then if you're joining us virtually, feel free to type into the chat box and we can read your questions there as well. But this question, Philip, what kind of obstacles have you faced as you have grown your business?
Well, I think that the cultural understanding, Allianz is a big company, but a lot of them still don't understand Asian culture as much. Example, the Chinese brochure is one of them. And the second thing is, when Allianz Life first come with a non-MAP program, okay, you don't need to do physical. And they only limit to people who were born here. And one time I was kind of joking and a little mad. I said, I came to this country 40 years, okay? There's only 2 things I cannot do. One thing is because I was not born here, I cannot run for president. Second, I cannot qualify for Allianz Melman program. I have to talk about that 2 years before they made the change.
A very big comparison on those two.
And I was joking about it. I think ET was there too. I said, Allianz was not even born here neither. So Allianz shouldn't qualify their program either. So those are kind of things, understanding. And also when Allianz in the more than 70 plus countries, I thought Allianz should be the best one to do a deal with the foreign national market. But I had to fall 3-4 years to even get one. But when they get one, it's a pretty bad one.
It's still tough. Yep.
Compared with other carriers. So I said, I think maybe Allianz need to have have more people understand or get familiar with all the Asian culture. So when we talk to them and we communicate them, we say, hey, this is when you deal with Asian people, you probably do this way. It's a lot easier to earn their trust or get their business other than just traditional market that way. That's the whole thing. Obstacle was that Allianz need to understand more about Asian culture.
Okay. No, I love that answer. And we're constantly looking for ways that we can get better and better support you in your business as well, which that's going to lead me to my final question for the two of you until we open it up to Q&A. But you've kind of hit on this already, Philip, but if you want to elaborate on anything else, do you have any ideas on how Allianz can further support you and your clients?
Couple of things, prepare more the Asian materials, okay, and so that people can get familiar with. And once in a while, maybe spend a little money on the budgeting, commercial market budgeting, do a little Asian social media or TV station, radio station, talk about a little bit of Allianz. Because New Life did a good job, and a lot of Asian people believe New Life is the biggest company for life insurance company in the world.
Wow.
Because they do a lot of Asian culture or Asian TV or advertisement in Asia. I think Allianz maybe do a little branding. The cost is a lot less than the mainstream, but you can get an effective result. A lot of people heard about Allianz, but we just need to remind them, especially in the local social media or TV station, radio station. I think that will definitely help Allianz branding even more.
Absolutely. I mean, like you had said, we're in 70 different countries. We are everywhere around the world.
But you have a hard foreign national program.
So Richard, same question to you.
So ever since the pandemic, we are transformed. We focus on more social media and stuff. So if Allianz need to have some kind of promotion, we kind of want to know ahead for the compliance. So our marketing team can make the advertisement socially so that we can be ahead of time to spread out the good news. Because a lot of time we're waiting for the Allianz compliance and we lose the valuable time. So.
Yeah, like at this time they come out with the flyer explained in Chinese, but we just need a little bit more ahead of time, or maybe some the more definite guideline for us, so we can follow the rule can promote Allianz better for any promotion like this.
No, that's excellent feedback. I mean, that we definitely want to make sure that based off of the volume of production that you always do during the promotion, that we give you the necessary tools to be able to do that. Fantastic. Okay, I am going to turn the call back to our friends at the home office in Minneapolis and see if there's any questions from the audience that we can help answer. We might need to turn the volume up on the speaker.
Oh, yeah.
We got a couple. Can you hear me all right?
Okay, we can hear you now. Yep.
All right, here you go.
So I come from a Hmong family as well. And one thing that I am still trying to navigate is learning how to have an open conversation about money with Asian folks. So particularly people 45 and above, just because a lot of Asians are really uptight about that conversation. How do you open up that conversation, especially when it comes to insurance that, like FIUL, it's not dangerous. No one's going to take your money. Because that's where I come from, a family where they think that insurance, we just do it for death benefits. don't do insurance? How do you have that open conversation?
Well, like I said, Asian parents, Asian guys don't believe they will die, so they don't like to talk about it. Or some of them even superstitious about the life insurance because of death benefit. So we always start with what is the best way to have a chance making money legally without paying income tax. And when I explain life insurance on the tax-free income, I normally start with a real estate. I use a real estate as an example because I said there's a way you can make money in the U.S. without paying taxes. Real estate is one of them. Why? Because when you buy real estate, especially income property, the rent can have all the deduction from the mortgage interest, property tax, depreciation, maintenance. When you sell, you can 1031 exchange it. When you need money, you can borrow against it. So when you pass away, all the realized capital gain are stepping up. So I'm using that as an example to tell them, hey, in U.S., making money without paying income tax is perfectly okay. And I use that then transfer to life insurance. I said the second way you can do that is under life insurance, because the life insurance, you have the same tax treatment. When everything under life insurance can go tax defer, when you exchange it, when you sell it, you can 1030. When you change it, a policy, you can use 1035 instead of 1031. When you need the money, you can borrow against it. So you can legally access your cash value income tax free. Plus you have some living benefit as well. So I said life insurance, just like a smartphone. People invent a cell phone because they want to make calls. Later, they want to use taking picture, listen to music, go on the internet browsing. So life insurance is the same way. Start with protection. Later, tax-free income. Also, you can use that for living benefit. You can use that for estate planning. By doing this way, instead of use a death benefit approach, you get a lot better result on that, because I asked all the people, said people are more interested in the money they can use. If the money they can use, that means investment. If money they cannot use, it's expenses. So that's why a retirement plan, real estate is an investment. Life insurance is expenses. So you need to tell them why you can use a life insurance as a tool, but you can use the money yourself. They will listen much better.
See, I love that. How many times have you had that conversation in your career? Take a guess.
Well, I went out more than 10,000 appointments. I taught more than 1,000 classes already. I did probably 800 to 1,000 training already. So I think I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I would say so. All right, our good friend, Mr. Jason Wellman.
Hey, Philip.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, again, thank you for reestablishing our lack of the foreign national business. So I appreciate that for the large group. But more importantly, I have two things. One more of a statement, then I do have a question. The statement, now with all the success on the annuity business, we still want to see that life insurance continue, correct?
Remember, I want balance. I won't do in one thing only.
Yeah. Well, I've got Taylor saying he's taking all the annuity business. So, all right. My question, though, I think it's really relevant for this group. You did receive that education and training award, and I think a lot of people reacted over that 3-day period here, at least in the audience, of all the hours you put in yourself personally and your staff. But maybe speak to how you get new people into the business. How do you get them? Is it referrals? Is it off college campuses? How are you getting folks to join your organization and be successful?
Every agency runs a different way. So when you first started, you have to pick what are your target agents. Now, in the industry, we found out you have a captive agents, you have independent agents, but a lot of independent agent, especially experienced one, high production one, everybody go after that market. So a lot of times they are prima donna or whatever. People even throw away comp to get them. And also you have network marketing way. They are easy to find the new people, but the network a lot of people don't like network marketing way. You have to recruit only. So I decided the best way is for my agency, I want to create the agency that have better or the same or better agency support. That's why we have a lot of staff to support agents. We can teach agents, have a lot of training class. And also we're looking for agents want to elevate themselves, not only the life insurance side, and they also want to learn all different things with, and especially with a team feeling, can join together, work together with a lot of very good training program, but not a network marketing. So my target market is not looking for a seasoned, experienced, high production agent. We are focused on the people like to be independent, but don't want to be alone, and want to be a team, but don't want to be a part of the network marketing way. So those are agents come between us, and we also we also tell them, support them dearly, and we also run it away and said, okay, we provide so much resource and training to help you, especially the 20% agent do 80% of business, work with us. We require them to go through every contract with us. It kind of semi kind of captive. If you have a contract here and there within our 20%, we terminate you. We're going to let you go because we don't want a commission hopper. We don't want a agency hopper just to get the best deal for them. And we have enough staff. We have good enough training program. So we don't mind to train rookies. We can train a lot of new people. We can develop them. We can, so this is where can development, helping, training, holding hand for the agent. That's our specialty.
Fantastic. Jillian.
I have a quick question, and thank you first for the business. And I have been kind of watching Jason and all these annuity numbers. He's squirming in his seat over there a little bit. So we thank you for the balance. But as you look at your insurance carriers that you do business with, is there anything that sticks out that you look for aside from product features?
Well, I always say that life insurance, when I do the training, I always say life insurance should be by design, not by default. So I said there's 7 ways to sell for life insurance. Some people looking for cheaper premium, but permanent product. Some people looking for the best income product. Some people looking for a good living benefit product, whether it's free rider or pay rider. Somebody looking for guaranteed death benefit, and somebody looking for guaranteed cash value, and what is the best estate planning second to die product, and what carrier is best for national. So every quarterly we publish which carrier are best in which carrier categories. So if you're looking for cheaper premium, what carrier you should look for? If you're looking for best income product, now, so that's why Allianz never be a cheaper premium. Allianz never be a complete living benefit or death benefit. So, but Allianz can be a great income product. So we want to say, hey, if you want looking for Allianz, this type of client and this type of target market is what you're looking for. So we can separate each carrier. We can tell them we pick 8 to 10 carriers in on all categories. So we tell them, hey, instead of looking for all the different carrier, this is the easier way to separate each carrier. That's why make our agent job easier to do. And also we don't have to waste time to telling people, hey, if you're looking for cheaper premium or guarantee, you don't have to waste time on Allianz. But if you're looking for good income product, the same thing for Allianz index annuity. If you're looking for guarantee product, don't look for Allianz. But if you want to have a good potential income, decent bonus, Allianz is the way to go. That's why we can narrow down each carrier's advantage. We can tell them, hey, this, if you're looking for something, this is a carrier you should pick. So we publish that every quarterly. We tell them our agent, so the agent is a lot easier when they go out. They have cheat sheet in their pocket. Then when they go out, they say, hey, if you're kind of looking for this, pick this. If I'm kind of looking for that, pick that.
Love it. And you really teed us up with our announcement that just went out today about the 360 and becoming a very high income guarantee product. So make sure to get us on the grid when looking at 360 as well. All right. Any other questions from the audience? Okay. So there is a question that came in the chat box. How much do you attribute being able to provide translated materials to the success of the recent promotion?
Translate material will help out definitely. Of course, language translation teaching is also explanation is also very hard and very important. But I found out a lot of time I've been correcting a lot of carrier, quite a big carrier. When they have a translation, and a lot of it sounds like translate from Google translation. So we have to tell them a different way, and especially for traditional Chinese and simplified Chinese is a very easy conversion, but the wording they use are different too. The wording they use is different too. I'm using this example why sometimes even we speak English is better than American people speak English. I remember I heard a Chinese pastor, they went to Africa to the preaching. He followed behind a very big name pastor, U.S. pastor. When that pastor went out talk, not much response in Africa. But when he used his broken English to talk, everybody would cheer up because they understand better.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes we joke about it. You know what's the most popular language? They call globalish. What is a globalish? Think about it. A Korean and Japanese, how can they communicate? They use a globalish. It's the 3,000 words, English words, easy words, so they can understand each other. So we just use the example. We don't say people perish. We say people pass away or they die. Sometimes when the agent listen to educated English trainer, a lot of times in some of the keyword, they don't understand it because you use fancy words. But when they listen to our talk, it's much easier. That's why when you need to talk about, just like if I use Chinese to train, my Chinese is pretty good. But for American, they cannot understand it. Yeah. Because I'm using fancy words in Chinese. So that's why for American trainer, you need to learn how to use an easier word to communicate. That's the easy way. And even when I talk to Vietnamese, Korean in English, but our English is a lot easier to understand than you guys' English because we don't use a fancy word.
Well, that was a wonderful response. Thank you, Philip. Okay, I think Emily is holding the microphone. So Richard,
Hello.
You work quite a bit with Emily. Emily, go ahead.
Hello, thank you. Well, yeah, I'm lucky enough that I got to watch as you guys crushed the ABC promo that we just came off of. And I know the bonus is down now a little bit from where it was. What can we do through the end of the year to continue partnering with your agents and with your agency to keep that momentum going, that $208 million momentum?
Another promotion.
I think 35 dropped to 25, 32 dropped to 25 is not a deal killer. You're going to see a dip for a while, and in a couple of months, then you still see back up, but not as big as the promotion, but you still going to see some production because ABC is a good product. Is a good product. 7% bonus difference will not kill them, will not attract so much business, but still can run some.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking forward to see the 360, but I think 360 no bonus, right?
No, just one account value.
Yeah, I know. So it's not as appealing as income or high bonus. That's why sometimes Asian people need a kicker. High bonus with a good product with a high bonus, it's definitely a good kicker.
Okay, I'm not seeing any other hands being raised in the auditorium. Going once, going twice. Okay, so we're going to wrap up. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. And I want to extend
wait just a second.
Very big thank you to my favorite business
question.
partners who are now becoming better friends. So thank you very much, you two, for taking time out of your busy days and away from your advisors to educate us all on the offerings that you have at Transglobal.
Remember, I pick up a Scott's phone call at 11 p.m. and went to my office to pick up his bag.
The things you do for Allianz, just unbelievable. Well, thank you, both of you. Really, really appreciate you taking the time. And if there's any other questions, feel free to ask me after the session and I can filter them to both Richard and Philip. So thank you, everybody, for joining us today.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.